resist putting it in. I found it in that book and then later found out from Pete Byro that it was, you know, an old Abbott's effect. And it's kind of fun to do, to mess with your family and friends. So it's called Bob Nellor's Miracle Sphere. As long as I'm wearing this goofy outfit with my sleeves rolled up and not wearing a tailcoat, no jacket, I figured I'd show you this little trick that was from my old Manipulation Act. Some of you that purchased my Manipulation Act DVD might remember this trick from my old act. So, but this applies in the ball category. So I'm going to put it here in this video. Candle. Look. To ball. Candle to ball. Not bad, huh? Coming up next, the secret. The secret to my candle to ball trick is pretty simple. You have a Fekini billiard ball. In this case, this is a, I think, 1 3/4 inch ball, and a Fantasio vanishing candle. And we have a candle holder, and the candle holder was in my prop case. So in the video just a moment ago, I put a top hat to block out what is here. But what I did was I put the candle here, and you'll see on this table, I've put a little needle there. There's a needle right there. And I actually just poke a hole into the Fekini ball so it just sticks in the needle. I found this to be a very efficient way to hold a Fekini ball. Although it does create a hole, it's okay in this case. It's a fast-moving effect. So this sits like this. So now this is in my prop case. When I want to get the candle, I palm the ball and take the candle out at the same time. And this is, let me show you what I do here. I've got the candle and I get the ball here. This hand comes on top, puts blows out the candle. Make sure you give it a little second or two, otherwise this gets too hot. You put this between your index finger and your middle finger at the base of it, and you visibly crumple up the ball, and then you hold it like that. And at that moment, you're basically hiding the candle behind the ball. So the audience thinks that the trick is over. Now, when I first started doing this trick, I used to have a tailcoat, tailcoat, and in the tails I had a secret pocket there. So what I used to do is take the ball, the ball, and when I bounced the ball, this hand with the candle would continue down, and I dump this candle into my tail pocket. See? Goes down and it gets dumped in the tail pocket. And eventually, there's a whole story to this, but eventually, on the urging of my friend Max Maven, I got rid of the tails in my manipulative act. And what I did was I copied something that I saw from Richard Ross. So in Richard Ross's act, he had a little slit in his trousers to hold the thumb tip for the card scaling. So I put a pocket, a secret pocket right here in the trousers. See, my fingers go in that pocket. So I can use it as a loader, as a dump place, just like my tail pocket. So when the candle goes in here, this bounces, and I just drop that candle into the pocket. Like that. See, so this collapses. The audience thinks the trick is over there. See, they think the trick is there. All they see is the ball. They don't see the candle behind it. Bounce, their eyes follow that, and I put the candle into the pocket. And in tempo, it's like this. And you do it with a step forward, too. You go like this, you show this, you bounce that, you step forward, and you got my candle to ball. And now it is time to explain to you one of the first techniques, of course, in billiard balls, which is palming a billiard ball. Let's begin. The first palm to learn is the classic palm, in which a ball is placed in the palm. The muscles of the palm muscles at the base of the pinky and the thumb come together a little bit, and the ball is held right there, and it's held together in the classic palm. And this allows you to utilize your fingers while holding a ball secretly in the palm of the hand. It's the classic palm. The next palm to learn is the touch palm, in which a ball is placed into the palm of the hand and held in place not by the thumb and pinky, but by the middle finger lightly touching the ball. That is called the touch palm. The next palm to learn is the finger palm, in which a ball is placed into the base of the middle and ring finger and held this way. It's called the finger palm. This palm is called the thumb grip. It's rarely used, but sometimes you have a very large object, you can grip it this way, or just with your thumbs, the thumb grip. So here we have, from the audience view, the classic palm, the touch palm, the finger palm, and the thumb grip. The 4 basic palms of the billiard ball. On June 18, 1948, Roy Benson did a lecture at the Parent Assembly of the Society of American Magicians in New York City. In this lecture, he explained some of his techniques with billiard balls, and he explained the technique which I'm about to show you now. About a half a year later, in December 1948, in the Sphinx magazine, Roy Benson's friend Arthur Ponar wrote this Roy Benson technique up, and he titled it "How Not to Palm a Ball." So I'm going to show you now Roy Benson's cupping technique. This is Roy Benson's cupping technique. Through many years of working in nightclubs and in the vaudeville stage, Roy Benson believed that the classic palm was not that effective because the angles were bad. Also, the finger palm was not that effective. So he used a technique which he called cupping. It's sort of like a finger palm, except this hand comes tightly on top and the thumb is trapped on top of the ball, so that the ball is hidden in the hand like so. Let's take a look at this in a full body shot. And as I said, Roy Benson believed that a classic palm was not that effective for a stage performer. If you're working three-quarters surrounded and you have a ball classic palm, the people looking in this direction, which would be here, can see the ball. So what Roy Benson did was he took the fingers, he cupped it over the ball this way, placed his thumb on top, and he kept his hand there while he manipulated with his other hand. And look, you just don't see the ball. The ball completely is concealed. This is the Roy Benson's cupping technique. It also worked well because Roy Benson smoked a cigarette. So he would have a cigarette in this hand and then continue cupping the ball in this hand. So Roy Benson's cupping technique, very, very effective. And now it is time to teach you some basic billiard ball productions. First production is the top of the fist production. The standard technique for the top of the fist production is to have the ball in a classic palm and then bring the fingers up against the ball, bring the ball to the finger palm position, and then bring the thumb under the ball, and then squeeze the fingers onto the bottom of the ball so the ball appears from here to there. And from the performance view, the audience view, it looks like that. See? Top of the fist production. Next we have the Arnold de Beer production, which looks like that. The de Beer production works by the ball in a classic palm, fingers wrap around the ball, thumb comes down, pushes the ball between the pinky and the ring finger like this. When done in speed, in tempo, it's like that. The Arnold de Beer ball production. This is another way in which Arnold de Beer produced a billiard ball. In the de Beer production, the hand is held like so with the thumb down, and the thumb comes behind the ball and pushes it into place like so. A very pretty production is to produce a ball between the fingers of the hand. This works like this. The ball is in a classic palm position. It's brought to the fingertips. The thumb pushes from behind, puts it in the letter V. So it goes like that. Another variation of the V production, but without the use of the thumb, appears in Maurice Rooklin's book Spherical Sorcery and Arthur Buckley's Principles and Deceptions. This move is accomplished by rolling the ball to the fingertips like so. Now performed slowly, it would look like this. The thumb is left out, the fingers come in, and the ball is rolled to the fingertips and held out like that. This is, as I said, I don't know who really invented this, but certainly Buckley performed it, and certainly Maurice Rooklin did. One of my favorite billiard ball productions is something that I developed after studying the Alan Shaw coin production, which is on my Ultimate Guide to the Mice Dream DVD. And it's this sort of production. You can produce a billiard ball like that. You start off with a ball in a classic palm, and then you flip the ball up and catch it in your fingertips. So the ball is produced in the air like that. That's the Levent production in the style of Alan Shaw's coin production. Very neat move. You should learn this one. It's very good. This next move is the interlock production of a billiard ball, first performed by the great Danish performer Clement de Leon over 100 years ago. Clement de Leon's interlock production works like this. The fingers are interlocked together, billiard ball is held in the hand, and it's controlled by the thumb and index finger of the right hand. When the hand turns around, it's first the left hand which turns, and the billiard ball is hidden from view. So you turn your hand this way, and then you open up your hands, leaving control of the ball with the left, rather the right index finger. See? So you do that. And the production is the opposite. The hand, when the hand turns around, what you do is you don't want the billy ball to be seen from the top. What you're doing is you're shielding the ball from view. As you turn your hand around, you do that, and you turn it around, and that's de Leon's interlocked production of a billiard ball. And now a true crowd pleaser, the continuous ball production. The continuous ball production. I did this version of the continuous ball production when I was a little kid, and it's not, as far as angles, it's not the best version, but it is pretty clean. One ball is classic palmed in one hand, the other ball is held on the top of the fist. As this hand comes to take the ball away, what it does is this classic palm ball locks the ball in, not in the palm of the left hand, but just caught by the nails and the inside of the palm. And this ball is produced. So when you bring the hand in, you're just leaving it there and then producing it. In other words, you're not catching it here, you're not catching it in the palm, you're catching it like pretty much on the first little bends of your hand and catching it there. So this hand is the ball classic palmed. It goes into the top hat or a container and seems to drop it in, but you're just catching it at your fingertip here and then classic palming it, while this hand reproduces the other ball. Hand comes together, and in terms of angles, believe me, this isn't the best version. If people are sitting on your extreme sides, this is not the version. But if the audience is pretty much head on, it's very deceptive, this version of the continuous ball production, which I first started, like I said, I figured this version out when I was a little kid. Ball was here, hand comes together, and it's very deceptive. Next, we're going to show you actually a better version of the continuous ball production. The second version of the continuous ball production looks like this. Now the technique is very simple. Classic palm in this hand holds the ball at the fingertips. When this hand comes up and takes this ball away from the fingertips, the hand moves up slightly, about a few inches, and then replaces this ball with the ball that's palmed. So you make believe you drop the ball in the hat, this hand comes up, and you do this. And I'm going to go do this very slow as I turn around so you can see what's happening here. And it helps to do it in sort of a mime-like motion. I always like to do it in sort of like a mime-like motion. Try to keep this hand still, in isolation, just like this. And it's a continuous ball production. And you can do it continuously, but you might not want to because you want to get home after a show and take a bath or something. And now one of the oldest vanishes, the French drop. The French drop is performed like this. The ball is held between the tips of the index finger and the thumb, held like this, and the other hand comes and covers the ball for a brief second, and as it does that, the ball is dropped into the palm of the hand, where it is classic palmed away. The French drop. From the back, it looks like this. There you go. The French drop. A second very common version of the French drop, which is not as effective as the original method, is this way, holding the ball this way, facing the audience. Instead of holding it this way, hold the hand this way, and then use this hand to make a vanish. And that's just putting the thumb behind having the thumbs crossed at the back, the ball is dropped, and the hand's turned over. Not as effective, although it could look a little better sometimes if instead of a pickup motion, you do it as a put, like you place it in the other hand. So you can do that sort of motion. Take a ball, place it into the hand, and you can do sort of that French drop. But still, if you're going to do it, you're better off doing the old school French drop. The top of the fist vanish. The method on the top of the fist vanish is to simply place the ball on the top of your fist and drop it into the center of your fist, while at the same time the other hand comes up and provides a masking motion as the ball is dropped in. So the ball is seen there and it's made to disappear. We'll try it again. Here we go. Top of the fist vanish. Now the thing is, top of the fist vanish is not that good of a vanish. It was very popular in the old days, but it just doesn't read right. It's better to do a bottom of the fist vanish, which works like this, that. I'll try it again, see? Bottom of the fist vanish. So you can put a ball on top of your fist, and when you do it, you just give it like a knock. You want that feeling of like a mime feeling that something heavy is dropped into the other hand. You just don't want to go like that. You just want to give it a knock like that. I usually do it, by the way, not on the top of the fist, but hold the fingers up. I just want it a little bit loose up there. I go like that. And I'm usually, when I do it, it's just not this way. It's usually from here to a touch palm. From here to a touch palm. It makes the hand look a little bit looser. This other hand has a little gravity to it, so it looks like that. Bottom of the fist vanish. You can combine the bottom of the fist vanish with the back of a hand with this sort of motion, which is take a ball and seemingly drop it that way. But I don't think that's nearly as effective a way to do a vanish to do this. A better is to do a trap vanish. And a trap vanish is this, is to put like this and make a ball disappear like that, see? And the secret is you're actually trapping the ball between the two hands. And this way, both hands are pretty open for this. Look, both hands are open. You go like that, and then you can vanish it. And again, you do that, and then you classic palm the ball away. So, back of the hand, trap vanish. It's pretty good. Keep it in mind. A standard billiard ball vanish is the V vanish. The V vanish. The V vanish works like this. You have the ball held between the ring finger and the middle finger, and you put the ball against the base of the other hand and you roll this hand forward. When you do that, that ball goes into the palm of the right hand. At the same time, this hand closes. So from top, it would look like that. So you combine it together, and that's called the V vanish. My personal variation of the V vanish is not to do it this way. I don't like to use this hand forward. I actually pull this hand back, and I think, at least for me, it looks a little bit more deceptive. And this is my method for it. I'll do that. So I'll do that in a taking motion. It'll be like that, which is the same thing, except this, instead of this hand forward, this hand stays still, this hand comes back. And that's my version of the V vanish. A standard old-fashioned vanish that even Cardini used to use is to take a ball and seemingly make it disappear like that. And all you do is you take the ball that's flat on your hand, cup the other hand on top, and rotate the hand this way. And so you're pulling the ball out of view. At the same time, this hand comes away. So you do that, and it seems as if the ball is transferred there and disappears. You might want to notice, by the way, a lot of times when I do billiard ball vanishes, on any sort of vanish, I don't keep the hand in a classic palm or finger palm. I'll often just put the hand against my body, and I'll rest it nicely so that the ball rests there so I can relax my hand. And there's a thing that Di Vernon talked about, is when you do something like this, when you put it there, you just give it there, you keep your hand there, and you give it a little break, which kind of it's like a subtle effect. It's a subtle tell that makes the audience think that that hand is empty. So when you put something, your hand relaxes. So if you're gonna vanish something, I'll do a bottom of the fist vanish. When you go like that and it disappears, you can just rest your hand right afterwards, knock it down like that. And that usually helps. A retention vanish with the billiard ball. Technique is simple. Ball is held in the fingertips of the hand, placed in the palm of the other hand. When the hand comes up, the ball is just pulled into by the middle finger up into the palm. So you show the ball, let them see it, and it's transferred into the classic palm position of the other hand. A little retention vanish with a billiard ball. This next move is from Arthur Buckley's classic book, Principles and Deceptions. Arthur Buckley's ball production, followed by a takeaway vanish, is performed like this. From the secret view, the backstage view, ball is palmed in one hand. The left hand is shown to be empty. The hand is brought up behind the left hand, and the ball is produced. And as the hand turns around, the ball is rolled down to a classic palm and taken away. So from this view, going to do it nice and slow. Hand to show both sides. This hand comes up, produces the ball into view. When the hand turns around, the ball is rolled back to the other hand and stolen away. So from side view, it's like this. It's rolled down to the classic palm, hand is taken, and the ball is shown to have vanished. Here's Arthur Buckley's strike vanish. Arthur Buckley's strike vanish works like this. The ball is placed on top of the fist, and when you slap the hand down, you just simply palm the ball and turn the other hand around. So when you tap, you turn the hand around, show the ball disappear. So tap, show the hand around, and you classic palm the other ball. The strike vanish. This is a move from the great vaudeville performer Nate Leipzig, and it's called the Leipzig drop. No, nothing there. The Leipzig drop. The Leipzig drop is sort of a sucker move. What happens is this hand comes up and hides the ball, but seemingly makes it look as if the ball is being dropped into the other hand, and the other hand is shown empty. And what happens is, away from the audience's view, the hand comes together like this, and you hold the ball in this position. You hold it on the knuckles in this hand, on the nails of this hand, because you want to be able to drop it with very little motion on the outside. See, if you had a ball in the palm of your hand, you need to open it. Your hand would do that. But if you make them think you've cupped it in your hand and you have it there, you can let the ball drop with no motion. Now, this hand comes up on top. You fake it as if you dropped the ball to the other hand. You go, no, there's nothing here. And on the downstroke, when this hand comes down, you drop this ball into the other hand. Now, the thing you have to remember is when doing the spin vanish with the wand, with the ball and the wand, Di Vernon said that you have to let go of the ball as the hand is dropping. In other words, like when the hand is about here is when you let go of the ball. Remember what are called the acceleration of gravity on a falling object is 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, so what that means is it doesn't suddenly go fast. It actually speeds up over time. It accelerates. So it doesn't suddenly fall, it slowly starts to fall and pick up speed. So you're going to drop when your hand's about here, you drop the hand down. So when the hand's here, you show the hand to the spectators. When this hand comes to about here, you let go of the ball, and by the time it comes here, that ball should be falling at the same rate as the hand is falling. So you show this side, and then you drop. And once that ball is dropped, you catch it. It's very hard to catch it in the classic palm, so you can only catch it with your middle finger. You catch it on the way down. So you show this hand, you catch it on the way down, and then you transfer to a classic palm and relax the hand on this side, show that the ball disappears. That's the Leipzig drop from the billiard ball routine of the magician Nate Leipzig, who performed this routine about 110 years ago in vaudeville. A standard toss vanish is this. Take a ball and toss it 1, 2, 3, and do that. It's a toss vanish. It's very simple. You just palm the object on the third toss. 1, 2, 3, and then you follow the object, the invisible object into the air. So you go 1, 2, 3, and you follow it, and that's a toss vanish. Now, toss vanish could be a little bit more effective if you use two hands. You can sometimes go like that, and that helps a little bit. Or you can do it a birdcage style, like the vanishing birdcage. You take the ball, place it between the two fingers, do the same thing, and it seems as if it disappeared from that spot between the fingers. So you go like that. And how that works is you have the ball between the fingertips, so when the hand comes down, you just put it into the classic palm. The hand comes down, classic palm up. Let's see some toss vanishes. The Arnold de Beer toss vanish is this. The de Beer toss vanish is very simple. All you do is you toss the ball back and forth a few times, and then the last time you palm it in this hand and toss the other hand, turn the other hand around. So you go like that, and it seems as if the ball transferred there, but it's retained in the hand. So you go 1, 2, you toss it a few times, you toss this hand up, and this is the back view, you turn the hand around, and it seems to disappear. The Arnold de Beer's toss vanish. Maurice Rooklin's slap vanish. The slap vanish appears in Maurice Rooklin's terrific book, Spherical Sorcery and Recollections of a Pro, and it works like this. You have the ball in the right hand, the left hand comes and slaps the hand together and lets that other ball fly up. So you do that. Step 1, do that. Now, as the ball is dropping, this hand provides a shield and just catches the ball in the right hand. So the left hand acts as a shield, and it just goes up and steals the ball away. And from the back view, it's like this, that, boom, like that. The slap vanish by Maurice Rooklin. Cardini's behind the back of the hand ball production and retention vanish looked like this. The method on Cardini's technique was this. Ball was classic palmed. This hand was shown both sides. As the hand came up, this hand with the ball turns around, produces the ball. So comes up behind, produces the ball like this. So it comes up now once the ball is at the edge of the left hand, as the hand turns around, this hand grabs the ball and picks it up at the fingertips like this. So from the back view, it's this. The magician's view, it's that. So as the ball comes here, it's picked up. And it's sort of like a retention vanish. You just see that ball for a split second in that spot. Bear in mind, by the way, in all these vanishes, when you're doing this sort of thing, you can't really make a fist. In other words, you can't say, look, here's a vanish and the object's gone. Keep your hand tented as if there's a ball there. You practice. You hold a ball like this. That's pretty much what the shape of your hand looks like if you're hiding a ball. I mean, people will see it on the side, but head on, this is what it looks like. So if you're going to do this sort of thing, you want to keep that hand as if there's a ball. Wait a while, and then show the ball is gone. Cardini's fingertip production of a billiard ball in vanish looks like this. The back view of Cardini's fingertip production is to bring these fingers in, bring the ball to the fingertips, and transfer the ball from the fingertips between the tips of the pinky and the index finger like this. And now in the vanish, this hand comes up in front, and without moving the thumb, the ball is transferred from there to there. See? From there to there. So this hand masks it, so when the hand comes up and takes the ball, this thumb should not really even move. You'll see, and the ball disappears. Cardini's fingertip production and vanish. Maurice Rooklin's roll-in vanish. The roll-in vanish works like this. Ball is held in the V position in this hand, left hand held this way, and you get the left thumb as sticks out. Now, when you place this hand, you act as if you're placing the ball into the left hand, but the left hand has the thumb and it rolls the ball out of the V into the right palm. Then the other fingers come in to put the ball in place, and it's finger palmed away. So as this hand comes in, you grab it, you go in, and the ball seems to disappear. So the thumb, right there, closes in, the other fingers come in, seat it into classic palm, and the hand is shown to be empty in Maurice Rooklin's roll-in vanish. One of the best old color-changing ball moves is this. Let me show you the technique. One ball is classic palm, the other ball is held in the fingertips of the hand, shown to the audience. This hand comes up and transfers the palmed ball from the classic palm to the fingertip. Classic palm to the fingertip. As you cover this ball, you bring it to the fingertip, you classic palm the ball, and as this hand comes away, you transfer the ball from the finger palm of one hand to the fingertip of the other. So it's like that. So it's like a swooping motion, and the ball just keeps changing color. Now, if I were to use two balls of the same color, so you'll see this fake color change, it looks almost as if I'm just keep wiping a ball over and over. That's a wonderful little color change from the old school. This color-changing ball move was performed by the great Cardini in his act. This very visual one-handed color-changing ball works like this. One ball is secretly palmed in the hand, the other one is at the fingertips. Ball is tossed twice or once, and the next time you toss, you retain this ball and toss the other ball in place. So the ball that's in palmed gets tossed up, while this hand brings the ball at the fingertips down to the classic palm. So it looks like that. So it's a one-handed color change with a tossing motion. This is a billiard ball move by the great vaudeville magician Bill Baird, the Bill Baird color change. The billiard color change works like this. In one hand, you're classic palming a ball of one color, and in the other hand, you're holding the other ball in a V position. Now, as the hand comes to take this ball from the V position, you do a changeover palm, but it's logical because you're transferring an object. In this case, you're transferring the ball from one hand to the other. And in doing so, you're classic palming the white ball into the left hand. Now you have this ball in the V position. Ball comes up behind the left hand. As it comes up, the ball is transferred to a classic palm. So the hand comes up, ball is transferred to a classic palm, and the white ball is taken away from the palm to show the color change. So you go from here to that. That's the billiard color change. For V, color change. In order to perform the V color change, you classic palm a ball and hold the other colored ball between the V position on the other hand. This ball is in classic palm. As the hand comes forward, you grab the white ball in sort of a finger palm position and then roll the other ball into place. In other words, you grab the white ball and roll the other ball into place. So you show your hands, you grab it, and then you bring your hand back, and it's the V color change. Maurice Rooklin's rollover color change. The technique for Maurice Rooklin's rollover color change works like this. You have a ball secretly classic palmed in the hand with another ball in the V position. As this hand closes and turns around, this ball at the fingertips is rolled into the classic palm as the other hand takes the ball away from the classic palm. So when the hand comes around, you're switching the ball. So from the side view, or from the back view, well, side view would be better, is you do that, you're taking the other ball away. So you're taking the other ball away. And so from the audience view, Maurice Rooklin's rollover color change looks like that. I found this next billiard ball move in a book that was published 104 years ago by Hamley Brothers of London. The book was called Novel Notions by Robertson Keene, and here we go. Billiard ball move. It's called The New Drop Change by Robertson Keene. In order to perform Robertson Keene's move, you have 3 red balls in a shell and a white ball. Hide the white ball behind the shell, put the other balls between the fingertips. And then what happens is I'm going to turn this hand this way and drop the white ball out of the shell. Notice you can't do it holding this way. You kind of have to turn your hand this way. So the second you turn it, you're dropping that ball at the same time closing the red ball into the shell. So it looks like this. Now, to tell you the truth, to some extent, it's kind of confusing having that many balls in the fingertips. So a move like this actually works very well with just 2 balls, a white ball and a red. And we'll show you, and it looks just like that. Pretty effective. This is the New Drop Change by Robertson Keene, published 104 years ago. So keep doing the research. This move is the facile color change. The facile color change is truly a beautiful move. It's a one-handed color change of a ball, and it appears in Maurice Rooklin's book, Spherical Sorcery, but I'm certain that it is not Maurice Rooklin's invention. Many other magicians in vaudeville and music hall were using this move. Certainly Cardini, amongst others, was using this move. But it's a beautiful move, and we're going to show you the techniques of the facile color change, or the one-handed color change. In order to do the facile color change, you need 2 different colored balls and a shell that matches one of the colors. From the audience view, the audience sees that. They see 2 red balls, but you have the white ball back here. When the audience doesn't see, these fingers come down and the white ball is dropped down and caught in between the pinky and the ring finger, and there's a little air gap. There's a space there in between there, see? And what you do is very quickly is you bring the red ball into the shell while flipping up the white ball up on top like that. And that's the facile color change. See? That. Facile color change. Now next I'm going to show you the shortcut version of the facile color change. The easy version of the facile color change only works with smaller billiard balls, and in this case we're going to use these little golf balls. Instead of pulling the ball out of the shell like that, the ring finger pulls this ball down and sticks the switched ball in, and then it works the other ball up this way. And this is the fast version of the fast field color change, but it only works at small billiards. For full billiards, you need that full version. This next move is the one-handed color change by Maurice Rooklyn. The Rooklyn one-handed color change involves classic palming a ball while doing a ball roll with the fingertips. When the hand comes down, as the ball is brought to the top, the hand comes down, the thumb brings the red ball to the palm, and the fingertips bring the white ball to the fingertips to continue the ball roll. Maurice Rooklyn's flash color change. To do Maurice Rooklyn's flash color change, you need 3 solid balls in a shell, 2 red balls in a shell in this case, and a white ball. You cover the white ball with the shell, place the red balls in between the fingers like this. Don't let the people see the white ball in the back. You show this ball to the audience in between the fingers of the other hand. When this hand comes up, that ball is transferred to a classic palm. At the same time, the white ball is popped into view. So you take a ball, you show it this way, and the white ball is popped into view. And the cleanup is simple. You got this ball classic palm, you put that ball behind the shell, show the balls, and there you have Maurice Rooklyn's flash color change. Arthur Buckley's color change number 1. In order to perform Buckley's color change number 1, you palm one ball and have the other one at the fingertips. You throw the ball into the left hand, turn the hand over. The ball's in classic palm. After the hand is turned over, this hand comes up and pops the other ball into view, the ball that's in the palm into view. At the same time, this hand turns around. So one color goes in when the audience sees the other color. At the same time, this other colored ball is dropped back into the other hand. So in slow motion, it's here, the hands come together, and the other ball is stolen away in the classic palm. Arthur Buckley's color change number 1. Here is one of Roy Benson's favorite billiard ball tricks, a trick that he called the no-move color-changing ball. The no-move color-changing ball. In order to perform Roy Benson's no-move color-changing ball, you need a red ball, red shell, and a white ball. Place the white ball inside the red shell. Place it on your fingertips like this. Then, so you don't show the audience you got the white ball back there. You bring the hand this way, you place the ball into your hand in what I call the Roy Benson safe position. You can move your hand freely because the most of your hand is covering the fact that there's a white ball under the shell. So you say you're going to do this magic trick. Now you bring your hand up here and replace the ball in the shell here, but remember your angles, you got a white ball back there. Now here's the move, or rather the lack of move. This is what's so beautiful about this thing. You drop the ball, you show it to the audience, and your hand comes together, and the left hand classic palms the shell off the ball. The hand is turned over, and then the classic palm shell is replaced onto the red ball as the white ball is removed. Very beautiful move here. We'll do it for you again in tempo. Show this ball here, you bring it here, and then you do that, and you change it. I'll do it one last time, so you can see how pretty this is. This is from the secret view here. This ball is dropped, shown to the audience. Hand comes up. The shell is classic palmed off the white ball. The hand is turned over. The shell is replaced on the red ball, and the hands are shown empty, showing that the no-move color-changing ball by Roy Benson, the master himself. In terms of color-changing billiard balls, I have a test. I have a test that determines to me what is a good technique and what's a bad technique. I'm going to show you a simple color change. One ball changes to another. Now, I believe this move I just did, this move is a bad move. The reason it's a bad move is because the ball shifts in space from one place to another. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to do the same move, but with 2 red balls. See, this doesn't pass the smell test. The ball was up here, and then suddenly there's another ball there. So how do you know a good color change? Well, a good color change is a color change in which the object seems to remain in the same space. So use 2 balls, same color, and look, I'm changing color there. See, if I do that, I'm changing color. But it looks like nothing is happening. See, I could do the same move, I can do this. And if I do it with all, say, two red balls, it looks like I'm just tossing a ball around. And that's how you can tell if a color change is proper. So this is the Levent test for color changing balls. One of the standard billiard ball flourishes is the ball roll. In his book, Arthur Buckley suggested that the magician learn how to do a ball roll while palming another ball. This way, when the audience sees you from up front, they cannot imagine that you're holding a secret object in the hand. Another variation of the ball roll is the two-ball roll, which works like this. Ball is held between top two fingers. When a ball is rolled down, this ball continues. When the ball gets to the pinky, it comes up to the index finger, and then you continue to do the two-ball roll. A fun billiard ball flourish is to place the billiard ball between your fingertips and move your fingers around the ball like so. This is very easy to do. You put your fingers on either end, and you do that to the ball, or roll this way. And such a sleight, by the way, looks nice if you combine a flourish with a sleight. So you move your hand up like this, and then you can vanish a ball. Ball flourishes. This billiard ball flourish is called the elevator move. It was performed by Roy Benson, Cardini, and many others. As far as my research is concerned, I found this from a 1914 issue of The Magic Wand, and it was credited, I believe, to Harry Leet, the British magic dealer who, amongst other things, invented Run, Rabbit, Run. So here we go. The elevator move. Very simple. The balls are classic palmed in the hand. Hand is put together. Just a flourish. You squeeze your hands together in sort of a V, and the ball travels up to the top and travels back down. The elevator move by Harry Leet. This next move is called the Alexander ball roll. It was used by almost all the great billiard ball manipulators, especially Cardini, Roy Benson, and Bill Baird. This move originally comes from the world of juggling. It was invented by a gentleman that we call Fat Alexander, one of the brothers from a vaudeville act called Alexander Brothers and Evelyn. It's a juggling act. And let me show you what the Alexander ball roll looks like. Ball is placed here, and then rolls to the hand. We'll get a little closer. Like that. That's the Alexander ball roll. We'll take a look at the technique coming up now. In order to perform the Alexander ball roll, this is what you do. Place a ball a little across your two fingers here, and let the ball roll forward. When it rolls forward, this finger, the middle finger, is pressing against the ball. So like the ball goes from the channel down to the middle and presses the ball against the index finger and moves this way. In other words, it's pushing against the index finger and brings it this way. And it gives an optical illusion because you don't see the middle finger in the back, and it looks as if the ball is defying gravity. Now, a little tip for you. If you have trouble doing this, what you can do is you don't have to hold your fingers like this. You can bend your hand this way at a slight angle and bring your fingers this way. And when your hand falls in this way, it's a little bit easier to grip. So you can fake it this way. And this is the Alexander ball roll from the world of juggling. It could be done, by the way, not just this way, but you can also do it this way. You know, Cardini and all the other magicians did it this way as well. The Alexander ball roll. An offshoot of the Alexander ball roll is this move. This is directly related to the Alexander ball roll. Roy Benson used this. And it's very simple. To do this, you place the ball on the top of your fist, extend your fingers, and you move your fingers out in an asymmetrical, in an asynchronous manner. So you're moving 1, 2 fingers. In other words, you're not moving 2 fingers, you're going 1, 2. And by doing 1, 2, the ball rests on your hand. It's like the index finger moves out first, and the other hand moves out second. The other finger moves out second. And this is the Alexander ball roll done sideways, and it looks like this. And sometimes, you know, for fun, you can do this sort of thing and have them fight each other. But you get the Alexander ball roll, and that allows you, by the way, to do that. So you can hold the ball like this, like that, like this, and like that. This is the variations of the Alexander ball roll. And now a word about change over palms. Now, if you look at the old magic literature, they tell you to take a ball and palm it in the hand, and you can show both hands empty by showing your hand empty this way and turning your hand this way and showing it both ways. And then you can do these things called equipments or acquitments, and then you show each side, no matter acquitment or equipment, either way you pronounce it, it's a bad technique. See, show your hands like this. You see this sort of stuff? Now you're going to find this in the old literature. What I'm going to tell you is please don't do it. Okay. Now, if you 100 years ago, Roy Benson's teacher Nate Leipzig called this hand washing because it looked like the magician was washing his hands. Magicians were doing this. They thought they were fooling the people, but they were only fooling themselves. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do a change of a palm. In a minute, I'm going to explain one of my fundamental rules of stage magic and explain to you the proper way to do a change of a palm. As some of you who have seen me teach and lecture know, I have what I call Levent's fundamental rules of stage magic. And rule number 5 is secretly maneuvering a palm object from one hand to another is generally a bad idea unless the procedure employs a visible object. Coming up next, I'll explain what this rule means. Okay, so this is what the rule means. If you have a palmed object and you do a change of a palm, palming an object, rolling it from hand to hand, it's a bad idea unless you have a visible object, because that visible object gives you a reason for the hands to make contact. So there's two basic ways of doing a change of a palm. You can have let's say the palmed object is the red ball, the visible object is the white ball. So you can say, look, nothing in this hand, nothing in this hand. So what I've done is I've given a logical reason for the hands to come together because I need to show both hands empty, so I need to place this ball into this hand to show that the hand is empty. And in doing so, I've completed a change of a palm. Look, nothing in this hand, nothing in this hand. That's method number 1. The second method is to have a palmed object and display the object. So not just showing your hands empty, but displaying it. So you can show an audience of people, you can say, look, you see this ball? Look at that. That is just one beautiful ball. Let me show you folks over here what a beautiful ball this is. See? And that's a change of a palm. I had this. My hands came together. I transferred the palmed object from hand to hand. And that's method 2. So you can either show both hands, either one hand empty or the other, or you can show the object. And you need a logical reason for those hands to come together. Otherwise, the change of a palm doesn't work. So this is Levent's rule number 5. If you want to read the rest of my rules, you can go to my website, leventmagic.com. And if you see me lecture, you can see me teach all the rules and see exactly how they work in terms of magic.